Welcome to Totally Mackinac Island podcast. Learn all you need to know about this quaint island located on the crystal blue waters of Lake Huron. Find out all you need to know from a tourist for the tourist. Hello and welcome to Totally Mackinac Island podcast. I am your host, Heather. I need to apologize for last week's episode where it kind of had an echo to it. It had something to do with my microphone, and after I recorded, I did not realize it. So I know it sounded a little weird. I tried to perfect it a little bit more. But that comes sometimes with doing stuff on your own. You don't realize some of the mistakes. Anyway, so no doubt we're getting close to hopefully the end of winter, heading into spring. And one of the things that people often, talk about is how there's no automobiles on the island. But what there are is snowmobiles, because in the wintertime, they can't take their bikes. I mean, they could have, special tires put on there, but there's no way you would be able to with some of the snow that they get up there. And they've gotten a pretty good amount this year. So I think that that's something to keep in mind. So one of the articles I found was everything you need to know about the snowmobiles on Mackinac Island. And I don't know if you ever noticed this too, around, I think it's Thanksgiving or Christmas time. It might be the Christmas Bazaar. Dowd's Market always has a drawing to win a snowmobile, which that is an incredible giveaway. So that would be amazing if you won it. So let's get into this a little bit more about it. In fact, this article was published at the beginning of February on the blog through MackinacIsland.org. It was published on February 3rd, 2026. And I'm going to just share what to know about snowmobiles on Mackinac Island. So here's a little secret. There are actually lots of motor vehicles on car-free Mackinac Island. Not during visitor season, of course, but when there's snow on the ground, many residents get around on snowmobiles. Mackinac Island residents take gas-powered sleds to the grocery store, for example, and to work and school. It's an efficient way to get from point A to point B faster than a horse-drawn Mackinac Island taxi or a fat tire bike. So if you go on there, there's actually a YouTube video that will show you of someone snowmobiling an island, and it starts up coming around the corner heading towards Fort Mackinac. And so here are some fun facts about snowmobiling on Mackinac Island. Gas for snowmobiles is available on Mackinac Island at Rock Hardware and Fuel Dock, as you can see from the video that they have posted that you can watch on MackinacIsland.org under the blog section. And it's much pricier than fuel on the mainland. I'm sure it is because they have to bring it in. So permits are required to use snowmobiles on Mackinac Island. Residents and commuters often buy permits that are good for the whole winter from November 25th to April 15th to contact the city of Mackinac Island or Mackinac Island Airport about daily permits available for visitors. So kind of like your bikes, when you are taking your bikes over to the island, that is something to keep in mind. You always need to have a permit when it's on there, because you could get, I'm actually not quite sure. I think you get a ticket. I don't think they can tow it away, but don't quote me on that. There are no places to rent snowmobiles on Mackinac Island, but visitors can take their own snowmobiles on the Arnold Transit Winter Ferry boat from St. Ignace for an extra fee. Although an ice bridge to Mackinac Island sometimes forms on the Straits of Mackinac during the winter, crossing over the ice is strongly discouraged, folks. Do not take what I am telling you to go across that ice bridge. First of all, I would never even go. I don't care if that thing was frozen all the way to the bottom of that lake. You could not catch me going across that. I just would, with my luck, I would hit the one spot that is weak and fall in. Like many Mackinac Island organizations and businesses, we do not provide updates nor information on the status, location, or details about the ice bridge because of how unsafe it is. There's no such thing as a safe ice. Using the ice bridge is as ride at your own risk mode of transportation and should be considered with extreme caution. Now, just to keep in mind, there is a ice bridge documentary that somebody did that you can watch about it, and it's really cool. But they do say that there are sadly people that die because they push the limits a little bit too far on how much they can ride on the ice when it is still kind of mushy, but they still try to do it. So recreational snowmobiling on Mackinac Island. Some areas of Mackinac Island State Park are groomed for cross-country skiing and prohibit snowmobiles, but many roads and paths are open to the snowmobiles, including Annex Road, British Landing Road, Cadott Avenue, and all of Lakeshore Drive with Mackinac Island State Park. However, with strict speed limits of 20 miles per hour in the town and 25 miles per hour in Mackinac Island State Park, snowmobiling is more about transportation than joyriding. Snowmobiling on Mackinac Island is more of a necessity than a recreational vehicle and a recreational activity. Still, a leisurely ride around Mackinac Island can be fun. It can be a fun adventure. You can get a sense of the serene stillness and snowy trails through Mackinac Island State Park and how peacefully beautiful they are in the winter. So again, they have another availability for you to watch the snowmobiling on there. So when you are considering going over there, I think it would be good if you could talk to somebody that even lives on the island that could give you some more information about that. So then there's something to be thinking about because there's a school on the island, and one of the things that they talk about is why there are no snow days at Mackinac Island Public School. So, in most places, Michigan and other areas of the country that get snow, too much of the white stuff can force schools to close for the day. Icy, wind-swept roads present a hazardous challenge for school buses and other vehicles, after all. But on car-free Mackinac Island, ironically, lots of snow actually makes it easier for students and staff to get to school. As a result, Mackinac Island Public School hardly ever calls a snow day. In fact, even with an average of 94 inches of snowfall each winter, snow days on Mackinac Island are few and far between. And when they happen, it's usually for a reason other than the snow on the roads. When other schools are closing down due to heavy snowfall, we are typically excited to be able to use our snowmobiles to get to school more easily, says Kelly Lepowski, school superintendent. Lots of snow actually brings an ease of life. Um, so why does the public school sometimes close? That's not to say that Mackinac Island Public School never calls a snow day. Although snow days are rare, they do happen from time to time due to a variety of reasons, such as extreme gusty winds, for example, and extraordinarily icy conditions. Sometimes power outage or an extreme cold can cause the Mackinac Island to close for a day. Other times, school, which only has about 70 students from kindergarten through high school, closes when significant numbers of students are out sick. But in most cases, if students in your local schools are home with snow day, the students of Mackinac Island are up bright and early, zipping to class on their snowmobiles. Then, snowmobiles, of course, on Mackinac Island. The Meals on Wheels program that delivers food to homebound residents is actually a Meals on Snowmobiles program on Mackinac Island. With food donated by the community and prepared by chef volunteers, St. Anne's Catholic Church, and students from Mackinac Island Public School team up to deliver hot meals by snowmobile to people who can't leave their homes in the winter. How cool is that? So last year, in January, they had 26 inches of snow, 16 inches in February, 11 inches in March, 4 inches in April, and zero point 0.1 in May. Then it started at 0.8 in October, 9.4 in November, and 24.6 in December. So they've definitely gotten a lot more snow so far this year. I definitely think it's been a snowier winter for a lot of people. You have to remember, too, they got hit with that ice storm last year, so I'll bet the schools were closed then. There was, if you did not make it up to Mackinac last year, the trees, you could tell so much damage from the ice storm that had gone through there with that. So, on the Mackinac Island Free Press, which if you're not following, please do so. They share a lot of valuable information and it's free. So, you can get on there. They also, this is where Neil and I were featured. They'll have different submissions and you can even partner with them if you would like to advertise. So, on here, they have a whole article about the Meals on Snowmobiles, a winter lifeline on Mackinac Island, and a volunteer powered winter program delivering warm meals in connection to Mackinac Island neighbors in need. When winter settles in on Mackinac Island, getting from one place to another takes extra effort. For some residents, it can be a real challenge. Each year, St. Anne's Church steps in with a program to become a quiet winter essential for the community, Meals on Snowmobiles. From January through mid-March, hot meals are prepared and delivered every Tuesday and Thursday to approximately 50 elderly or homebound residents across Mackinac Island. The program exists to ensure the neighbors who may struggle to leave their homes during the winter months still receive nutritious, healthy meals and meaningful human connection. Meeting a winter need. Meals on Snowmobiles was created in the early 2000s to care for island residents during the coldest months of the year. When winter conditions can make daily tasks more difficult, beyond nourishment, the program provides consistency, reassurance, and a familiar face at the door. Those who receive meals regularly show how much the program means to them. End-of-season surveys consist to reflect deep gratitude. One recipient shared that she looks forward to meals on Snowmobiles every year. Living alone during the winter months, being greeted by a volunteer with warm, healthy meal delivered directly to her door is something she finds especially meaningful. So here's an example of some of the food that they have. Lemon pepper whitefish, rice pilaf, buttered peas and carrots, homemade white bread, side salad, blueberry shortcake. Then, and these are photos credit of John Cadat, who is on the, if you don't know, he does the Addicted to Mackinac. He's one of the head members of that page on Facebook. Then the other picture is sweet and sour pork over white rice, steamed vegetables, homemade Johnny cakes, side salad, mocha almond ice cream, and these both look delicious, a huge portion size, because honestly, looking at this, I'll bet you could eat the salad as part of like lunch and then have the dinner for dinner. And Dolly is talking to everyone, so she's just wanting to say hello. So this is powered by volunteers who are the heart of Meals on Snowmobiles. Each delivery day begins with volunteers working together to prepare meals at the church. Volunteer chef John Cadat, I hope I'm pronouncing his last name correctly, leads the kitchen alongside other volunteers to ensure meals are thoughtfully prepared and ready to deliver. Once meals are packed, volunteers get ready for delivery. One volunteer walks to homes located close to the church, while a team of 2 volunteers delivers meals to the rest of the island by snowmobile. This system allows the program to reach residents safely and efficiently, even in challenging winter conditions. The community effort. Meals on Snowmobiles operates without any government funding. The program is sustained through generous community support and volunteer commitment. St. Anne's Church is thankful to receive a grant from the Mackinac Island Community Foundation, which helps make the program possible each winter. The continued success of Meals on Snowmobiles reflects the strength of Mackinac Island community and its willingness to care for one another during the most demanding season of the year. It's sometimes more than a meal. For those receiving meals, the program offers warmth, nourishment, and connection during a time when isolation can be especially felt. For volunteers, it provides a meaningful way to serve neighbors and make tangible difference. As winter continues, snowmobiles will follow familiar routes, meals will arrive warm, and St. Anne's Church Meals on Snowmobiles will continue to quietly embody the compassion and care that define life on Mackinac Island. This winter lifeline is made possible through faith, service, and community care. To donate, volunteer, or learn more about Meals on Snowmobiles, visit St. Anne Church website. And I will find that website and put the show in that website in the link show notes. So if you want to donate or learn more about it, you can check that out. So there you have it. I thought it was fun to go over a few little winter items that they have going on the island, and hopefully soon you're going to be seeing that melt and the snowmobiles will be put away for the winter. I know up there it's a little bit later, but I'm sure like everyone with March on the horizon, which when this airs it will be March, we're all ready for some of the snow stuff to be put away and start seeing some green and smelling the roses and hearing the birds chirping. I know I can't wait for that. All right, well, thank you for tuning in. That concludes this week's episode. I look forward to talking to you next time about our favorite place, Mackinac Island. Totally Mackinac Island is written, produced, and edited by me, Heather.